and then I will splice that in. I'll mux it in with the game's audio separately. So you will still be able to hear the game's music. You won't hear it on this commentary track, but I'll combine the two later. This is the setup we have here. Again, this is a Super NES game, so you aren't allowed to rebind the controls to the L2 and R2 buttons on the PS1 controller. Sorry. But you get to hear the dope music, which is what really counts. We weren't going to do that now, we'll do that later. Yeah, we already saw that. Let's get things started. I'm probably going to do a whole run of this game tonight. I mean, I'll merge everything together if I have to, but we'll do bits and pieces here. This is the music you need to hear. This, I should mention right off the bat, is one of the greatest cartridge soundtracks of all time. It's certainly one of the best Super NES soundtracks of all time. In fact, personally, I'd put the only two soundtracks I put above this are Final Fantasy II, 4 in Japan, and Ninja Turtles 4, Turtles in Time, which is still my favorite Super NES soundtrack of all time, and there probably won't be another game that'll pass it. And I've heard them all, don't sass me for that. I've heard Chrono Trigger, I've played Final Fantasy 6. I played Rock and Roll Racing, obviously, fantastic soundtrack. I've heard all of Tim Follin's stuff. This is better than any Tim Follin soundtrack, and that's saying something because the man is a freaking genius. He probably mastered the Super NES soundtrack. He and the engineers over in England, the software creations guys, probably mastered that soundtrack better than anyone. But this game is pretty much a triumph for the Super NES soundtrack. I mean, even the sequels don't have music as good as this game does. And I'm not sure why. I think it's because maybe they figured they gave the soundtrack more of an audio footprint for this game than the sequels. Because I guess the soundtrack for the sequels, they use terrible instrumentation on most of the songs. So they're not awful, it's just that it almost feels like they were using different instruments in this game. So I almost feel like they should remix the Mega Man X2 and 3 soundtracks using the instruments from this game, and it would instantly improve them. Okay, dude, seriously? And he crushed the energy capsule, that's darn it. Okay. As you can see, this is, again, like Mega Man X. He's lost some of the abilities he had in the later Super NES games. For instance, there is no ability to slide in this game at all. There is a dash you pick up later, but it's not available now. And I'm kind of not doing as well as I thought I should. I usually barrel through this part of the game. But you can't, you can't slide, you can't dash. All you can do is jump and run. Well, you can climb walls by repeatedly pressing the jump button when you're clinging to a wall like that. It's pretty easy to do, so I wouldn't spend any time worrying about it. Wall jumping in this game is extremely easy. And the control is every bit as good as the NES games, so I wouldn't worry about that. Pixel perfect collision detection, again, perfect, very little lag. There is some slowdown in the game, as you'll see in places like this and later in the game. Because it's a Super NES game, you know, stuff happens. But this is pretty much all you need to know about the early part of the game. I'll burn through it in 5 minutes, and then I'll intentionally die because there's an unwinnable battle coming up here in a moment, so we'll get to that. I'm not going to talk about the story because who cares about the story in the Mega Man game. There's no Dr. Wily here, spoiler alert, sorry, I don't know what to tell you. Of course, I mean, if you played Mega Man 4, you know that there was no Dr. Wily in there for the first part of the game, but hey, spoiler alert, he just showed up eventually. Again, there's no turbo, you can't charge your gun here either, so just mash on the attack button. But eventually you get the ability to charge up your gun, so we'll get to that. Actually, I think you can. I think I forgot to charge up my gun. Forget I said anything. Let me see if I can charge up my gun before I die. Again, I have to die here. So I'll make it as quick as painless as possible. Yep, there's my charge. See, there you go. Not that it matters, I'm supposed to die. And the speedrunners are like, what are you doing? Die quicker. Okay, so here's the unskippable part. Okay. So as I was saying, this game has one of the best cartridge soundtracks I've ever heard. I'll splice it in with my commentary later. But this part of the game is unskippable. So what I'll do is I'll just get through as fast as possible, and then get to the Chill Penguin stage, beat the Chill Penguin stage, and end this far. Because the Chill Penguin stage is where I get the dash ability, and that'll be the end of part 1. But again, all this is unskippable, so I kind of want to get past this as soon as possible. On a related note, on YouTube, there's a guy called Savaged Regime. Savaged with a D, Regime, R-E-G-I-M-E. It's an anagram of Sega Genesis. And he created a Sega Genesis sounding remix of this game's music. So basically, he took the music for this game and remixed it using the Genesis sound chip, the Yamaha sound chip. And you should listen to it as soon as you can. In fact, when you're done watching this video, go to Savage Regime's YouTube page and listen to the Sega Genesis Mega Man X soundtrack. It sounds great. It doesn't sound as good as this, but he made a lot of very good instrumentation decisions and a lot of good composition modifications to make the best use of the Genesis chip. So basically, if they were ever to remake this game for the PC, I would hope that they would pay him the licensing rights to get his remixes. Because the remix for the Genesis remix he did actually sounds better than the Maverick Hunter X music, which I'll probably review later. I'll talk about that later. Because the Maverick Hunter X is the PSP remake of this game that is actually harder than this game. I return to title, launcher, title game. Okay, well, we already saved, so we'll return to the game. Well, I have 3 minutes, so we'll just go through Chill Penguin. That doesn't matter. Wait, specs? Oh, that just tells me what each character has. This is completely worthless. Map. Worthless. Again, I don't remember. I think these were in the original game. I just never used them because they're completely worthless. Mega Man X. Nothing. Stage. Whoops. Whoops, I chose the wrong guy! I can beat this guy. I just kind of wanted the dash. Oh, wait. I'll do this guy anyway. Okay, so I'll beat this guy without a dash. I'll be fine. I just wanted to go to the Chill Penguin first because I like getting the dash. My usual run involves doing the Chill Penguin first so I can get the dash. Then I think I do the... And then I go to the Flame Mammoth, I believe, so that I can freeze his level. Because if you beat Chill Penguin, you can freeze the Flame Mammoth level. In fact, that might be the thing I do here. So why don't I do that? Yeah, so we'll go back. Excuse me. I have to cut this stuff out. Oh, get out of... Let's try that again. Escape.